Okay, hello there, everyone. My name is Commander Core. Welcome to Broken Arrow, how to create a scenario from scratch. So I did some research and looking around. There are not too many videos out there. I am new to the system, but I have already created one map that is still in the works and is available already for testing to the community on the workshop. It's called Operation Allied Freedom. It's got 50 something subscribers so far, and just a little bit of feedback on there. So I'm continuously working on that while building my skills and learning how to use the scenario maker. So with that introduction, today what we are going to be doing is I'm going to show you guys video by video on how to do certain aspects of the map creations, messing with adding units, objects, configuring with the scenario. We'll take a look at team manager stuff. Scripting is one of the main things that is most important to really making a scenario really come to life. So today's video will be just about spawning in units, unloading units, and having them secure objectives. So this map, which we are creating now, this scenario, is called Operation Black Ice, and it's going to be modeled as a special ops mission. It's the second mission in the series that I am doing for this scenario. So, what we have here, in order to get started, is the first part of this mission is going to be to find the intel on the area. So, obtaining uh, this sector right here should unlock another objective for our units, um, and it's the first in the first in our task. So to get started, what you'll need to do is you'll need to first create a new task, and you can do that by going over here to the Task Manager panel, just like I have here. You'll click New Task and you can create the task very easily. I'll even create one right off the bat, which is um, locate second intelligence papers. Period. It'll be primary, and we're going to leave it as hidden. Now you can set it to active, and if it's active, it'll automatically show on the right hand side. But if you set it to hidden, it won't be. It won't. The task will not show up in game just yet. So right now we're going to leave it hidden, and that's just how we'll create a task, and you'll see why we need that right now, which is in the script editor. And the scripts, as you can see here, it's part of the update task portion. So before we get into that, we need a couple more things. We need a tag. So you'll go over to new object, tag, you'll click on the map, and as you can see, it comes up here. Now, when you click tag, you can change the color to anything that you want, just to help with some organizational purposes. And what we'll do is I'll add a fourth one in here. And if you click it and hold right click, you can turn the orientation of it, as you can see here. Click it and we'll go right there. We'll keep it the same color as blue, and we'll also give it a name, which we'll say is joint deploy number 4. And that's pretty much all we need for here for right now. Now you could also hide the arrow if you need to. It's not actually necessary. And give yourself a description just in case. Let me see if I actually put up some stuff here. Okay, no, it doesn't. It doesn't actually. So that's just a quick notate, probably just for you in the editor. But so we have our tag now. Now that we have our tag, we also put out a couple of enemy units here, as you can see, to where we would just go to new units. We could click on the Russian forces. We could also have the unit type here, which is amazing. And you can also enter the unit name if you know the unit's name, of course, into the text here. So we'll go to infantry. We'll pick one difficult. One difficult. Let's say it's these guys right here, and we'll place them down right on top of the intelligence marker. Now, once you put out a unit, you'll need to click on it, and then it'll bring up the inspector panel, as you can see over here. We'll need to turn the player's control to Bravo 1, that's the enemy player, and is visible as part of deck. That's fine. Those can stay on. This is important here for what we're going to do. Capture nearest building. And if I click that, you can see a line indicates to the nearest building where the unit will sit inside. So we're actually going to move it closer to this building, and it'll sit right inside of this building on top of our objective. Now, what we could do is we come down some more. There's supplies and cargo. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if I decided to turn this up to, let's say, 1000, it basically would give that unit 1000 supplies just in its inventory for it to use. I do believe that's how that works from my testing so far. That's what I've seen. So let me know in the comments, guys, if that's not necessarily correct. Let me know what it actually is. Um, this open cargo slot is interesting because you can give the unit certain items or whatnot if it was a transport, but that's not what we're looking for here. Target waypoint, we don't need any. It's just going to sit inside of this building. Aggressive radius. So if we wanted this unit to just sit in this building, no matter what, don't move, even if it's being outranged by something, we won't put any values to this aggressive radius. If we did wanted to, then we would go ahead and for ground forces, if it sends something nearby within a 100-meter radius, I believe it's meters, um, it will start going to that target. The same thing with helicopters. If we gave it, let's say, 200-meter radius, if it wanted to um, engage a helicopter, it'll leave out of the building, move toward the helicopter or the other unit and engage it and so forth. So we're going to actually leave both of these off for now because we want it to be the big boss sitting inside of the building. And then next, now that we have our units out, now we can go to scripting. All these people as well are also on interbuilding. So now we can go to our script editor. And this is where things get a little bit complicated and also a little bit fun. I can't lie. Once you start to figure it out, it's very interesting. So in order for us to bring out these units, these AI units that they're going to be AI. Actually, let me backtrack one more time. Let's go to Team Manager. This is important when starting it up as well. So we took all of neutral team off. We go to Bravo team. We took these off. We left Bravo on. We have mandatory and AI checked, as you can see, checked. So this is an AI. We put the deck restrictions on Russia, and then we go to alpha player or alpha team, which is the player's team and any friendly AI. So we have this one free, deck restrictions to US, and then alpha player 2, which is AI, deck restrictions US as well. If you wanted to, if you wanted to click player deck, you would go here, and then where was, oh, that's right, close. If you had a specific deck in mind that you wanted, you would go to this right side over here, go to decks, import deck, and all of your decks would basically show up here. So we'll select all, apply, it's going to import all of our decks, and then if I come back to this side for alpha player 2 player deck, I could choose one of the pre-designed decks that I made for that AI or for any specific player to use. But for right now, we're going to leave them off. So now that we got that out the way, we will go to back to our script editor. Um, Spawn points. Forgive me. That was the next thing. Spawn points. So over here, you would go to new object, spawn location, and you would just click an area out on the map. And once the marker is down, you can actually open it up and choose if you wanted to spawn only ground, ships, helicopters, or planes. So, and you can also give it a name here. As you can see, we have Alpha Ground 1 on this area. And then you have, I put these here, Alpha Air Spawn 1, 2, and 3. And I spaced them out a little bit because it's, I've noticed if you have multiple things spawning out of one thing, aircraft, helicopters specifically, they'll come out on top of each other for the most part, and if they get shot down, they're both, one gets shot down, they're sitting right on top of each other, so they're both going to go down. So it's best if you're going to do some kind of things like that to either put markers out to spread them around, or just give different spawns possibly uh to spawn them out separately. So we have our three spawns. These are helicopter and planes only. Helicopter and planes only, and the team is for Alpha Team, as you can see. That means Bravo Team can't spawn here, obvious reasons. So we have our spawns out. Go back to our script editor. Now, what we'll need is a start node. In the node editor, you have to just right click, and whatever it is that you need will be in these menus here. For our start node, we would go ahead and hit start, and we would have start node. You click it and it'll come right out, as you can see here. So we have our start node, and then we have our spawn units. Spawn, as you can see here. Um, I'm actually going to build this as we go because I put that fourth marker out there. So we have start. We'll right click and we'll do spawn, spawn unit. And now we'll link this to this to spawn, and then the target tag, as you can see, we remember that we made that joint deploy for tag, so that's where, oh, I'm sorry, no, no, take that off, none, no, hold on, it'll be spawn, we'll say spawn 3, no, we'll say spawn, air spawn 1, um, and the target it's going to go to is deploy 4. There we go. So our unit, which is going to be a helicopter, is going to spawn from air spawn 1, and it's going to uh wrong again. Sorry, wrong again. No, we're just going to have it spawn at air spawn 3. Okay. The player owner is going to be our friendly AI player, so that's alpha player 2, and then we'll select unit. Now, for this unit, I'm going to choose a different helicopter. We already got 3, what is it, Silent Hawks. So let's do something else. I know they have something else, so we'll click US. We'll go to the this one. We'll go to helicopters. They have these. We'll say we'll bring out an Osprey. Um, if we wanted to give it a weapon, we could, but sure, why not? We'll give it a minigun. And then here's the important part. We'll hit open cargo next. And if we open cargo, that's going to say what's inside of the Osprey. So we'll click this US again. We'll click this division again. We're already spawning with 3 Delta Force. Let's say we'll spawn with, yeah, Pararescue. That seems kind of odd, but Pararescue it is. So we click Pararescue, it goes in there, and as you can see, cargo, it knows the cargo of the helicopter that we chose, which is practically awesome. So if I wanted to, I can add Delta Force in here as well, and as you can see, the cargo goes up and the heavy lift capacity as well goes up. Actually, let's get a little bit fun with this. Let's instead do um, a Flyer GMV and a Pararescue. Yeah, a Flyer GMV and a Pararescue. We'll put both of those in there, and then we'll hit close. As you can see, it's right there located in the cargo. We'll hit apply, and there you can see the description of oh, you could even see the cargo amount in there. That's awesome. Quantity, just one. So we're spawning an Osprey with pararescue and the Jeep. We're going to only spawn one of those units. And next we need the command for the transport to move to a location. So we're going to right click again, move transport, I believe. Yes, move transport. We're going to bring it over. So it'll spawn the unit. Once it spawns the unit, the next thing it's going to do, will link the yellow to the yellow, is it will move that transport then. You also need to link the unit, move that transport unit to uh, to this command, move transport unit. So move target tag is going to go to deploy for. That's where our tag comes in on the move transport. It'll move to deploy for. If you do target tag here on spawn unit, the unit is going to spawn on that tag. I get that and understand that because I'm getting flashbacks to the errors I was having on my other map. So you don't want to, unless you intend for a target or a unit to spawn on a tag specifically, you'll put it there to spawn on that tag specifically. So move transport, it'll move to the target tag, joint deploy for. Um, Next we need, what's next? Not for unit, for group. Pathfinding will be normal, not necessarily move and attack. If we could attack, attach it to that if we wanted to, it'll probably attack along the way. During the ride, everybody stays loaded at the destination at joint deploy for at destination. We're going to hit unload. That's what it's going to do. And that will be it. That's all we need for the move transport. Now here's where things will get a little tricky. Um, Before we get into the tricky part, I'm going to hit save. I'm going to close, and I'm going to show you guys. We're going to save one more time, and I'm going to show you that Osprey should come out and deploy its units. It should just stop there and deploy those units. So we'll hit play. As we look down, there's our Osprey. There's our other Nighthawk, or Silent Hawks. You can see our task is located over here on the right. They will deploy, and there we go. There's our units. These guys already have their orders, so they're going to go. But as you can see, that's all we left the script at. So they came out, they deployed, and that's where they stand. So we're going to go back to editor. We're going to finish the script now. So we'll go back to script editor. Now the next thing we want them to do is to go and take on that objective. So what we'll do is, we'll have them go and take the objective, but we also need to get the Osprey out of there, right? We don't want it to just sit there while the mission is taking place, especially, for the theme of dropping in units and getting out. We want it to go back to base. So what we need to do for these two different things, the units to attack once they're deployed and for the Osprey to return back to base, we'll need to right click. Let's take care of the Osprey first. We'll hit refund. And we'll link this to this. So this is the next one that it'll go to. It'll be refund. And it'll be for the unit. Now, for unit is the transport unit. That's what we're indicating here. For unit, refund the transport unit. That's what the 4 units is. And we'll hit back to base. So in order for it to refund, it'll have to go back to base and then it'll be refunded. The next thing we need is the orders for the units unloaded. So we need capture objective. We'll put that right up under here. So we'll take the move transport. It gives it the second option of the next thing that's going to have. It's going to refund and it's going to do a capture objective next, and that will be for the unloaded units, which we'll pull and put here. For those units, the for unloaded units, for those units, they will target zone find intel on the area. That's the mission that we have stated for them. And then we'll also give them an aggressive radius. So if we didn't give them an aggressive radius, um, I believe they'll just go forward while attacking. I don't remember if they'll stop to engage or not, but we're still going to give them an aggressive radius, to still take on targets within the area while they try to push toward the objective. In which case we'll give it a 500 radius. It could be much smaller. I could end up doing just simply 100 so they stay closer. Actually, let's lower that. Let's go 200. It shouldn't be too big. 200 should be just enough to capture the area around that local neighborhood. And we'll also change the ones up here too to 200 as well. They'll engage helicopters and ground units at a 200-meter radius. And this one up here as well. Okay. Let's go back down. Next, we need, let me see, capture objective. Now, once our units start engaging and they're pushing toward the objective, we need to be able to update the task to let us know that the mission was that task was a success and it's completed. Or if those units fail, we need to be able to give them another chance in this matter. Or we could just have the one-time deal of just those units going out and that's it. It could just end right there, whether they succeed or not. Or basically, if they fail, no reinforcements are coming. Or we could tell the script server to send out more units. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually say if, for this instance, if the units fail at their task, another batch of units will come out while we're updating our task. So first, let's take care of the task. If they success, we'll click task, update task. We'll put it right up here. And no, it goes, we're going to put it right here. So capture objective. If they succeed, update task, which is locate area intelligence papers, and we'll update it to succeed. So if they capture, or to success, if they capture it, it'll update to success. Now, if it fails, we want them to come back out again and to try again. But we also want to give it a little bit of time, right? Because if they fail, once the final unit of that group that was sent out dies, the next batch comes out once the final one is gone. Unless we just do a different timer and they just come out regardless. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to put a timer in between for when they come out, if again, if they fail. And what we'll need to do is we'll hit right click, we'll go to timer / countdown, we'll grab that, we'll put it over here. So if they fail, we'll go to a timer countdown of 3 minutes, 180 seconds. 3 minutes, And after 3 minutes, we take this one over here. We go all the way around to spawn unit and click there. So after 180 seconds, it will restart this all the way back here to spawn unit, move transport, yada yada yada, so on and so forth as it goes forward. Um, and now the last thing that we need is if the units do succeed, they'll just be standing out there. But for either performance sake or because of just the scenario, or specifically this scenario, we're going to have those units say mission complete and they're going to disappear as soon as they complete the mission. And in order to do that, we need another refund. So we'll go to refund. We'll bring this over. Actually, let's move these up a bit. We'll place that right here. And there we go. On objective, if they succeed at capturing the objective, we'll go to refund those units. And we're not going to hit back to base. So if we don't hit back to base, those units are going to automatically disappear off the map. If we do back to base, then if we checkbox that, they'll actually have to walk back to base unless we put in some other coding of, hey, there's some transport vehicles on the way. As soon as it gets to the location, those guys will then get into it and then they'll all take off. But for this, we're just going to cut right to the chase. They're just going to disappear off the map, mission completed. And that's where we're going to leave it at. So we'll leave it right there. I don't think there's anything else that we need to do to tie to that. And so there you go. That should be the completed form of this entire thing. And I will actually leave it right here for you guys for just a few seconds so you can actually either screenshot it or take a look, study it, if you will. Um, and do your own takes off of it. Now, the last thing I am going to actually do is I'm going to get rid of this start node because I can actually just tie that one with this one just to keep it all neat of what we did here today. So tie all that together, move that up closer to here, and we'll move these down. Yep, that should be it. So we'll hit save. We need to make sure we save it. Back out. We'll hit save again, and now we'll hit play and watch it unfold. Here comes our strike force. Targets are down. And there you have it. Thank you guys for watching. I do truly hope you enjoyed. Please leave me any comments or feedback. This is going to be the first in this series. Um, Let me know what you guys think. I will be doing more of these to help out the community and put out some more content, um, as well as most importantly, teaching myself these skills because I there's no other videos out there. So thank you all for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time.